There's a pain that's so deep among founders and leaders that hardly anyone talks about. The feeling of spinning, relentlessly, chasing customers like they're the finish line, only to realize that what's really missing is meaning. It's exhausting. Every pitch, every ad, every campaign feels like shouting into a void, trying harder, spending more, tweaking the message. But the truth is, customers alone won't set fire to what you're building. Customers can vanish. They can switch loyalties. They don't stick around when the shine fades or the novelty wears off. So, why focus on them? Because the world has been trained to see marketing as a transaction, a simple trade, product for money. But what if marketing was something so much bigger? What if marketing was the heartbeat of a movement, not just the engine of sales? Imagine this. What if every word, every campaign, every touchpoint didn't just sell a product, but sparked a shared fire that connects people, pulls them in, and makes them part of something greater than themselves? That's what movement marketing does. It doesn't just want customers. It wants believers, fighters, champions. It's hungry for people who don't just use your product, but live by the story your brand tells. You see, the biggest mistake most founders make is thinking their job ends when someone buys something. But that's where the real work starts. Because without a movement, everything feels empty. A fleeting moment of success that leaves you wondering what's next. The harsh truth is that behind every brand that changed culture, backed revolutions, or reshaped industries, there's a movement. These brands didn't just make customers. They made people care so much they would move mountains, defend a cause, push the future. The brutal question you have to face is this: are you building a customer base or igniting a community? Because customers are passive. Movements are alive. They're emotional, fueled by pain, purpose, and hope. And at this moment, while many are stuck chasing clicks, leads, and sales, the rare few, yes, those few who refuse the tired rules, are lighting fires in the dark. They're creating spaces where people don't just buy, but belong. But how? How do you make this leap from selling products to creating movements that ripple out and echo beyond your reach? First, you have to understand that people want more than things. They want stories that make them feel seen. They crave belonging in a world that keeps telling them they're just a number or a cog in a machine. Here's the core you need to master. Movements are born from shared identity. An identity built on something real, raw, and often uncomfortable. You won't unite the few by trying to please the many. You spark loyalty not by fitting in, but by standing out, by creating a space where the rare are invited, a place where those who dare to burn rather than bend find themselves surrounded by fire, not cold ash. Forget demographics. Forget personas. Those tools are for marketers who want safe bets. Movements speak to the soul. They tap into values so deeply held that they become unshakable. What's your cause? What's the truth you're willing to shout from the rooftops, even if it scares the people who just want to play it safe? Because a movement demands courage. It demands rejecting the comfort of consensus. It's about unlocking the becoming of individuals who know they're done waiting, done bending, done playing by rules that don't serve them. When your marketing doubles as a declaration, a bold, unapologetic stand, it automatically filters out anyone who doesn't belong and pulls in the few who do. This is the magic no algorithm can create on its own. Next, remember this crucial difference. Movements don't chase attention. They create obsession. Obsession is a gift because it means people can't stop thinking about you. It's not a coincidence that the biggest movements in history, from civil rights to tech revolutions, didn't grow by advertising budgets alone. They spread because they made people feel something primal: anger at injustice, hope for change, pride in identity, a fierce hunger for something better. Every moment your marketing doesn't stir the heart is a moment lost. So stop playing it boring. Stop selling safety. Bring the fire, the cracks, the shards of truth that people didn't know they desperately needed. Invite them into a story where they're not just spectators, but warriors, not just consumers, but creators. Then, realize the power of connection, the kind that goes deeper than social media likes or email open rates. Movements gather those who feel disconnected from the mainstream, who have been misaligned, misunderstood, and isolated by a world that values mediocrity and convenience over brilliance and hard truths. These people aren't looking for another brand. They're starving for a network, a space where their rare brilliance doesn't just flicker, but becomes a flame. Your marketing has to become a bridge, a beacon, not a message to all, but a whisper to the few who will fan the flames. And when this connection happens, something explosive unfolds. People don't talk about your movement. They live in it. They fight for it. They carry it like a torch that lights their own path. Here's the edge that most miss. Movement marketing is not about growth or scale. It's about alignment. It's about finding the few, yes, the true few, who carry your vision just as fiercely as you do. Because when you find them and craft your marketing to speak directly to those souls, something changes forever. Scale comes on its own terms, not your timeline. Noise fades away. What remains is essence. Pure, raw, unstoppable essence. And this essence demands patience. It's not about flash or trends. It's a long game. The few who burn bright stay the course because their fire outruns the fleeting cycles of hype and fear. They build trust not through gimmicks, but through relentless honesty, transparency, and shared risk. They embrace failure as a necessary step toward transformation, knowing that greatness is not born from perfection, but from boldness to redefine reality again and again. Imagine your marketing shifting from chasing numbers to telling truths. Imagine it as a mirror reflecting the unspoken desires of the rare, the radical, the relentless. Picture the people you want to build with, not just buy from you, united around your story like a tribe around a campfire. Feel the energy when your message breaks through the noise, not because it's louder, but because it vibrates on a frequency only the rare can hear. Once that happens, you don't just make sales, you make history. You don't just launch products, you launch legacies. This isn't theory or fluff. It's the lifeblood of every brand that's ever mattered. The brands that didn't just survive by selling, but thrived by stirring movements that dismantled illusions and rebuilt what's possible. These leaders didn't settle for comfort. They fought for meaning. They aligned with the individuals burning to unlearn what the world tried to hardwire into them. They built platforms for real transformation, not passive consumption. And that's where real power lives, the power to break free from the scripted, uniform truths handed down by the mighty and create new realities with the few who dare to see the world differently. So, what if marketing stopped being a tool of the system and became the weapon of the rare? What if you stopped aiming at the masses and started speaking only to those who would follow you through fire, who would carry your cause beyond reason and profit? What if your brand was not a company, but a cause, a movement, a living, breathing revolution that connects the misunderstood and the brilliant, that ignites synergy and unleashes the extraordinary? That's where the future waits. Not for the comfortable, the compliant, or the critics who fear the heat of disruption. It waits for those who cannot ignore the fire inside, the unbearable tension that screams they were made to transcend the ordinary. If that voice is stirring in you right now, if you felt that ache for more than just customers, for real connection, for radical transformation, then your marketing isn't broken. It's just waiting to become something far beyond what you've imagined. Because at the end of the day, marketing is not about customers. It's about movements. It's about lighting a spark so powerful it burns through the illusions, the comfort, the fake freedom that cages brilliance beneath noise and sameness. The world doesn't need more products. It needs more rebels, more dreamers, more creators who refuse to live a borrowed life. Your brand can be the place where those rare flames find each other, where the system ends and something new begins. That's not just marketing, that's liberation. And it starts right now with the story you choose to tell and who you choose to call into the fire.